Hi and welcome to Computer Stuff Generally. In today's video we're going to do a Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 VM in VirtualBox on a Windows host. So the first step is to download the Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 ISO. So we'll just search for that in Google, as always. The developer program allows you to actually go and download it, so I'll stick developer on the end. You'll find it fairly easy. So I just found this blog article, for example. I think if you just go to the developer page, you'll find it as well. Just click download Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 now. You may need to log in as a developer or register as a developer if you haven't already. You can see I'm logged in there. So click download Intel ISO. You may have alternate requirements, maybe a 32-bit image or something like that. So there's an option here, so different for different architectures. But I'll just select the standard DVD ISO, which is the entire image. So I'll just click download there. And it's actually prompting for my login again, so I'll just do that. Auto password and user in this case for me. Just wait for that to log in. It seems to be thinking about it a little bit. And it should start downloading shortly. Okay, so I've got a thank you and it started to download. Excellent. While the Red Hat image is downloading, we can actually go down and download VirtualBox itself. So just type into VirtualBox into Google, click literally the first link, it'll be there. You should get to the downloads page. Select Windows host, but you've got other options if you need it. Select Windows host, it'll start downloading. Easy as that. So we'll just wait for those to download. I'll just quickly pause my video so you don't watch it downloading forever. So the VirtualBox has downloaded, so I'll just click on the link there just to get it to execute. Okay, maybe I'll just click on that again. It doesn't seem to want to run. Okay, it's taking a few. Oh, there we go. Here we go. So just hit next on the first page, of course. Except most defaults I would. You may want to change the location there, so in my case I normally put program files on D, so just do that. Just click next. I'll review all those shortcuts. I normally turn off the quick launch. I don't really need it on the quick launch bar, but the other ones are generally okay. Right, big warning there is about the network interfaces. Just make sure if you've got any downloads or any kind of network traffic ongoing on this PC that you can't have interrupted, don't click yes until you complete that download. Next, and just wait for it to do its thing here. So you get a prompt with regards to the device software. Untick always trust software from Oracle. Okay, and just click install. Again, same, and install. I would never always trust something, you never know, so it's just untick and click install, and then finally let it start. And here we are. I'll just cancel that. I've got the old version of the extension pack from previous installation. All good. So let's create the VM. So file, it's changed a little bit since I last used it. So click add. New. Give it a name. I'll give it a nice generic name. RHEL 8. Let me just pick a location. I think I have. Let's put it in VMs here. Yeah, so let's pop in a D drive again. Linux and Red Hat looks good. Let's go next. So they normally recommend a minimum of 2 gig of RAM. I've got plenty, so I'll just do 496, I think it's 4 gig. Just do that. Okay, we'll create a virtual hard disk now. Yeah, create, and they recommend at least 20 gig or higher. So I would maybe allocate double that if you have the space, maybe 40 or more, that'd be great. And just click create. So that should do the basics. Right, and the next thing you need to do is right click the VM, select settings. Okay, so we'll just have a look through the general stuff. I don't think there's anything, we can enable those. I would enable those. We can't use them yet, but they'll be useful later. There's nothing for those. Yeah, that's fine. We've got to reset up that. We can turn off the floppy disk drive. There's no reason to use that. Optical should be above hard disk. That's good. Processor. If you have more than one CPU, it's recommended to assign as many as you have. So I'll just do all three in my case. Okay, display. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. That's all good. Make that. So in storage, we want to click on the where it says empty and it's got the CD drive icon. We want to again click the CD drive icon here, choose virtual optical disk file, browse to that ISO you downloaded earlier, the RHEL 8, click open, and we should be good there. Audio, just leave that as default. Network, generally we're going to use NAT. I think unless you know what you're doing, probably the easiest thing is just do a bridged adapter. So it'll get its own IP on your network. It will directly bridge straight to the network and get its own IP address. So you won't have to worry about a lot of things like port redirection and stuff like that, and port forwarding. So if you just do it and a bridged adapter, it'll be a lot easier. And just make sure you bridge it to the correct your correct adapter that's connected to the internet currently. So in my case, it's the wireless USB adapter. Serial, don't need to do anything there. USB, just leave that as default. Shared folders, you can add that. I won't do that right now, but you can add some extra shared folders here. And that can be folders that's stored locally on your hard disk that you want to share with your Red Hat VMs that you could have, I don't know, downloads folder or something like that they can directly share. But I don't need that, so that's cool. So now once we've done that, you should be able to just click start, essentially. And wait for the VM to start up. I'll just maximize it. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. If you may need to just if you see the mouse still, you may need just to click inside the VM, and then you can just move your mouse up and down to get the highlighted one. You can test the media if you want. It does take a little while. I've already verified the file is downloaded correctly, so I didn't need to do anything like that. So I'll just do an install. Okay, just wait for it to start up the installation wizard. Okay, again, you may need to. Also, looks like I've got some trouble with my mouse on this one, so I may need to use the keyboard. Your mileage may vary in this case. So I'll just select my language. Let's click continue. Okay, so the keyboard, make sure all these fields are updated. So the keyboard, the language support, time and date I need to update. So I will just set that to Australia, and I'm in Melbourne here, so that's all good. And I'll just go to done. So we just network, we'll talk about in a minute. Installation source should be local media, that's fine. What we want to do is the software to be installed. Okay, so there's a note actually on the Red Hat website not to use this server with GUI. It actually doesn't work. So what you need to do is actually go onto Workstation, select that option. There is some add-ons. You may want to select those. You may want perhaps the Office suite or some additional internet applications. You do still get like the default Firefox installation, so I won't personally select any of those, but you can obviously review those additional options there, and if you feel like you need any of those, then please do tick and I'll install those as part of the installation. Okay. Right, I'll just go through here and just have a look what else we got. So installation destination. Okay, so you can configure the storage. In most cases, unless you really know what you're doing, you can just leave it as default, because Red Hat has already built quite a nice and simple config that's good enough for a virtual machine. So I'll just click done in that case. Kdump, I would especially disable this if you've got a low amount of RAM, because this actually reserves a bit of memory constantly to run this kdump. So this is just to get a kernel crash dump. So in most cases, if you don't know what a kernel crash dump is, then there's not really much point of gathering that information. So I'll just go next, and we'll do a network, and I think hopefully all I should need to do on this case is just turn it on. That should get a IP and all that. Let me just give my machine a name. Cool, so I've got an IP address, it's auto IP'd, which is great. So I think I should be okay with that. Just give it a sensible name. Okay. That keyboard is pretty difficult. Okay, system purpose, all that stuff. These last two, you don't need to again do anything with those unless you really have a particular need for that. So we've done the network. Okay, so begin the installation. We'll just do click that. So that will start building your VM. So let me just, what we can now do, while it's doing the installation, we can actually do the user accounts. So let me just go here, set a root password. So this is in Red Hat and Linux, the root account is actually administrator account. So you want to set a fairly secure password. If it's just for your testing, you may want to just set something fairly simple. In this case, this is exactly what I'm going to do. It still says it's pretty strong, so it can't be too bad as a password. So I've just set that, and also we might want to create a local user. So rather than just having the root user, administrator user, generally it's good practice to have a local user, even if it's administrator, but at least you can sudo or elevate your privileges to root as and when required, so you're not always running as an administrator constantly. So just give it my name. I should do the same. Yeah, that's good. And required password, of course, that's good practice to do that as well. I'll just do that. Okay, I don't need to do anything in advance, so I'll just click done. And literally now we'll just wait for essentially the blue bar to go across the screen. We've got some 1,300 or so packages to go, so we'll just pause the video here and I'll rejoin you once it's complete. Right, so it's finally finished installing, so we've got a reboot button, so let's do that. Okay, so once it started rebooting, let's see, should auto reject. Okay, so I'm still getting the optical device, so just eject that. Just sticking that on again, force unmount, and I'll just do a reboot again. And that should just boot straight back up now without trying to boot into the disk. Yep. So just wait for this to complete. Should boot up into Red Hat now. Okay, looks good. There's an 8 sign, so okay, it looks like I'm still in. Yep, still doesn't like my mouse very much, so I'm still in tab mode, which is great. Okay, so I've just got to accept the license. Yeah, so you know, read it to the end, of course, and just accept that. Of course, I've read that before. Okay, click done. And the subscription manager, I would recommend registering it here. It's a lot easier to register here than it is later. So yeah, you will register it with this default. Just if you've got a proxy or anything like that, which is unlikely unless you're in a corporate environment, you can configure it there. Otherwise, just click next. It should then ask for your login and password, so that'll be that Red Hat login and password you created earlier. So I'll just punch in my details. Okay. And click register. Let's take a couple of minutes generally. Excellent, looks good. So I'll just click attach. And it should attach the subscription. Okay, that looks good. All successful. Just click done. And then we can click finish configuration. Now just wait for it to complete the boot. Okay, let's see if my mouse works now. No, so it doesn't like my mouse. I've had on other systems work okay, so I think it's just my particular mouse. Just my bad luck, I suppose. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to run the terminal. Oh, so we've got the welcome page, yep. So we're going to do that one time, so we just do that. So I'm good with English Australian. And click next. Yeah, the keyboard, English US is the same. That's okay, and just skip that, it's fine. Start using. Okay. See if my mouse has come to life at all. No, okay, it really is going to be fun for me. Okay, so let's do, so the first thing is always the terminal, so let's just get first the latest updates. So sudo yum update. The yum is the application that does the actual downloads and updates of all your system, and then update obviously tells it to the action upgrade. You can do an install and you can do a remove and all that sort of stuff as well. So it'll ask you your sudo password. That was your password of your current account. So it'll be the very same password you just logged in with. Just try that again. Okay, that looks good. So it's considering it right now. Yeah, it seems to be. It will go out there and download the latest repository information, so what the current version of all the packages are. Okay, so it's got a fair download, so if you're okay with that, just click Y and it'll just start downloading all the latest packages. Again, this could take several minutes to download and install as well. Say yes to this, just saying do you trust Red Hat Enterprise Linux's base OS GPG key, so it's from Red Hat itself, so I think it should be okay. And same again. So now I'll try and install the packages after downloading them. Again, that shouldn't take too long, but again the mileage may vary depending on your RAM and your CPU, and also just how many packages are out there currently. So as you can see, it's just completely upgraded, so we'll just do a sudo reboot to just restart the server. Okay, that is now booting up with the new kernel. I don't know if you noticed they had an additional option within the boot menu or the grub menu. So eventually I'll get a login screen and I'll just log back in as was before, but now we've got to do some more yum installations. We're going to install the yum, we're going to install the development tools, and then we're going to install the kernel development and also some other tools as well. So just do that. So just log back in. Again, I don't have any mouse, so I'll just have to do everything on the keyboard. So again, sudo yum, we do group install, and then we do a quote or double quote, development tools, like that, and my password. Again, we'll do the same, wait for that to install. It's still another fair sized download. Okay, so that installation is completed. So we've got the next one, so yum install, and we've got kernel-devel elfutils-libelf-devel. Just those two. I think kernel-devel might be already installed, but it's just worth just double checking. Yep, so you can see it's already installed, but that's okay, that's good. At least we're covering all bases there. So let this these few tools install. That's pretty quick. Okay, so now we're going to install the VirtualBox Guest Edition CD, because we've got all the other packages required. So if we go to the top here, you may need to press the right control to get out of the screen here. Otherwise, because your mouse may be stuck inside the VM. So if you use the right control key, you should be able to get out. So if you go here, devices, optical devices, oh no, sorry, devices, and then the very bottom here, insert guest edition CD image. Okay. And we can make it nice and easy, just click run here. So that will automatically do what's required. So hit run. Password, as always, is sudo. Okay, so it's going to do its things. just installing. It'll take a minute or so. You want to also just watch this and make sure there's no error messages. If there are any error messages, please pop the error message at the bottom of the video in a comment if you want, and I'll try and get back to you and help you investigate what it could be. Of course I don't mind to help if we can find anything to fix that for you. But mine looks like so far so good. It's just building the modules for the kernel, which always takes a little while. So no errors so far, at least. You may have noticed that the screen suddenly filled. It's suddenly filled the entire screen and closed. Okay. So what you need to do now is just a final reboot, just to get everything completely up and running with the VirtualBox tools. Okay, the VirtualBox guest editions they call it, not like VM tools. So just wait for that to boot up, and if all is okay, I should have full mouse integration. I should be able to also copy and paste between the VM and my local PC as well. So let's give that a quick go, and that will be the installation complete for Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. You may notice it takes a little bit longer to boot up than before. It's because it is loading up quite a few more bits because of the additional resources required for the VirtualBox guest editions, but that does mean you have a lot more integration there, and it will work a lot smoother once it's booted up as well. So you can see my mouse issue is gone as well, which is fantastic. So that's one of the first issues for me. So that's one. So let me just try just type test, okay, and I'm just gonna copy that, right click copy, okay, and I'll just go into Notepad here and just right click paste. So that's working. Test from local PC. Okay, so I'll do the same, copy, and just delete whatever's there, right click, paste. See, copy and paste is working, that's fantastic. So yeah, that concludes the video. I'll be doing more Red Hat related videos coming up. I'm hoping to do a whole series, so watch out for them. If you enjoy my videos, like and subscribe to the videos, to my channel. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.